Hey, what's going on, class? It's Mr. Hayes here. Early Tuesday morning, October 20th, with today's short mini lesson video. Our mini lesson video today is focused on how interactions or conversations between two characters can lead to making inferences. An inference being a conclusion you draw as a reader based on evidence and reasoning. A lot of you have already reflected on some interactions throughout your memoir, hopefully between your memoir author and an important side character. We're going to take it one step further and make sure we have a really strong inference or educated guess about what's going to happen next, also included in our chart. So for today's homework, I'd like your one row to be on an interaction using that I label on the far left of your key and how the interaction leads to an educated guess or an inference. So I'm going to model that for you right now. And what I've done is I've laid this out in a way that directly aligns to your chart. So what are you going to put for your I notice sentence stem? Well, you just have to answer these two questions. Where does your author interact or converse with another person in their life? Just mention the scene. And then how do both sides react? Both the author and the others in response. So what is the direct cause and effect of that important conversation? And then for the this is important sentence stem, this is the question I'd like you to think about. How does this interaction reveal something about who your author is? And can you infer how this interaction will affect him or her moving forward? And that's where the inferencing skills come in. So what does it reveal, and why is it important for the rest of the book and the rest of your memoir author's journey? As you can see here in my example chart, I've already included the I as the label for today. It would be your 10th row. And then I noticed, and this is important because, and that's where I'm simply going to answer those questions. So as a modeling, I'm going to find where in today's mentor text I found an important interaction, and I'm hoping that your row is also based on today or tonight's reading or yesterday's, but you don't want to go too far in the past. I'd like you to find something that's relevant right now to your book. And here we have an important chapter with Arnold taking on Rowdy at basketball tryouts. And we have a conversation here between Junior and his coach, where the coach says Roger's a big kid. Junior says he's huge. Coach says, you want to take him on again or need a break? He wants to take a break, but he says at the end, I'll take him on again. I think this is an important conversation. So I'm going to add that to my chart and reflect on what inferences I can make about how that conversation will change Junior moving forward. And maybe think about some of the reasoning behind why he made the choice he did to take on Roger in practice. This is going to be on page, I don't have the page numbers here, but I looked it up in the book, and it's on page 175. And the coach says, you want to take him on again? I'm going to zoom in a little bit just to make this really see it. Oops. Sorry about that. You want to take him on again? And then there's a little bit of internal thinking here, but then we'll jump to where he answers, I'll take him on again. I'll write Roger line up again. Take him on again. Here's my text evidence. I'm going to answer my two questions in my module page. So I noticed, where does your author interact, converse with another person in their life? I noticed that Junior demands to his coach that he take on Roger in full court one-on-one. Fix my typos here. How do both sides react? Junior reacts with fury and determination, while Junior's coach is surprised. Junior wants to take on the biggest, baddest kid. Of course, we know a little bit more about Roger through the Dance Winter Formal chapter than maybe the coach does, even, that he's got a sensitive and thoughtful side to him. But as far as the coach is concerned right now, this is a big surprise. So I've got that down. Now I want to make my inference. Why did I choose this conversation? Why is it important? What does it reveal? And what can I infer moving forward? This is important because it reveals the lengths Junior will go to prove to both himself and the Reardon students that he is worthy of belonging at their school and just as good as any of them. Is it dumb to take on Roger in this type of drill? Yeah, probably. Roger's gigantic and he's going to run Junior over. But Junior's okay with that because just being there shows to himself and his teammates that he belongs. And as a Native American at this white school, he has to do even more. He has to overcompensate and really prove to everyone, lengths and bounds ahead, that he belongs. So I'm going to include that thought too as well. Junior knows as a Native American, he has to prove himself leaps and bounds over everyone else. And now I'm going to get to my inference. So even though this act could be irresponsible, maybe not irresponsible, that's not the right word, even though this act could be physically dangerous, it is one of many decisions Junior has made to kind of put himself out there. And we can infer he will continue to take challenging risks to maintain the progress he's made at his new school. There's no backing down now. Okay, so there we go. Here in my interactions lead to inferences, I found an important interaction between the main character, the memoir author, in this case on a memoir, it's Junior, and his basketball coach. I've reflected on that, and I might add a little bit more to make this quote stand out. Maybe I'll add, the sentence down here about 90% of me wanted to take the break. Coach smiled, just to make sure it's complex enough to add to my chart. But most importantly, on the right side, I've described what the interaction is, who's involved, the reaction from both sides of the conversation, and then I've reflected on how it's important, not just what it reveals, but I've inferred moving forward and how it's going to affect my main character. That is essentially it for today. This is your 10th row of your chart. Interactions lead to inferences. Just follow along with this guide here on our slide, and I think you'll be just fine. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Tuesday.